Peace. What's going on? Yeah, we're gonna get some energy going on up in here. What's going on, people? Happy Sunday night. Yeah, we're going to church, baby. What's up? How y'all doing? Oh, honey is great. That's what's up. Glad you like it. Glad there's more where that came from. Oh yeah, it's about to be lit. Literally, I'm already lit. We is cleansing the air, baby. Yeah. Let's get that. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting it right. We're getting it right up in here. We're getting it right up in here. We getting it right. What's up? What's up? Uh-oh, we waiting for you in who's it? Are you down there right now? I'm about ready to come on down there, man. You know, most people like going down there for Sodom and Gomorrah, man. I can't do that. I'm about to go down there for the real. For the realness. For the spirit. What's up, Miss Saunders? Everybody up in here, y'all coming up in here. Come up in here, baby. We about to talk about some things, man. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. Oh, you know what? I didn't even put the image up. I'm tripping right now. I was supposed to put the image up. That's cool. That's cool. I'll put it up when I'm done. Oh, no. No, that's Palo Santo, bro. That's Paulo. Y'all be trying to catch me. Yo, KT, he lit up right now for sure. Nah. Oh, you just got back, leaving to go back in 2 weeks. Come through. Okay, for sure. Yeah, I'm on DM you. I'm on DM you. Get all the information together. I'm overdue for some sun, man. I'm looking real beige these days. You know what I'm saying? It ain't good. It ain't good. But yeah, I'm about to get started on this thing right now. We talking about herpes right now, man. We talking about herpes. We in 2023. It's time to get rid of the boogeyman. Okay, we dealt with a boogeyman for 2-3 years, and the skirt got blown up like Marilyn Monroe over that vent. You know what Biggie say? What's under that skirt? Slow down, son. You're killing them. Filling them with octane. Got them gassed up. We've been gassed up, and now I'm masked up. That's why I got the black hoodie on. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. You know, the Oracle got some great Palo Santo, and it's inscribed, like it's etched in there. So it got, not only is it already blessed, but she double blessed that thing. You know, so before I get started, let me give a shout out to the ATL Vegan Food Tours. You know what I'm saying? They threw a heck of an event at the Vegan Extravaganza. I'm surprised you didn't come through, Moon Rocker. I thought you'd be up in there. I thought I was gonna see you. But there's some great food in there. The kids was having a great time up in there. And the Oracle got to perform. She did 3 pieces. You know, she rocked, especially that last song. She gave her soul. She put her soul on that mic. And I got to speak. I spazzed out. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because it's like, I love events like that because it's food. So people don't care none about the folks talking. They doing a bunch of stuff while you up there speaking, and they don't really pay you no attention except like 3 people in the front until you get them. You know what I'm saying? So I was wrangling. And before you know it, it was just kind of quiet up in there. And I just started to go in. And next thing I know, it was like, okay, you got 5 minutes. And I was like, no, I'm just warming up. I had my Thanos glove on. I was about to, yeah. Okay. I feel you. Dang, the Clippers did? Man. I ain't seen the Clippers win since loving basketball. Since his daddy. Nah, I'm just playing. But yeah, it was a great event. Had a good time. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for y'all coming out and supporting the Oracle. Y'all need to go to her site, chatwithoracle.com, get some of her things, get some of her stuff. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to go over to Blue Magic MontanaOil.com. Mess with Mr. G, get some of that Montana. You know what I'm saying? You go over to BolingoBalance.com, go get some of them herbs from Victor. You know what I'm saying? Support. So we about to talk about some herpes, man, because people still getting it. They still don't get it. I did events all last year. I've been doing stuff, but it still ain't an understanding. And this is something I gotta say too. You know, I know y'all give me a lot of flowers and props and accolades for the information I give, but y'all gotta understand something. I'm still learning too, and I have no problem like evolving my information, because it's like, you know, the age I am now, I'm not the age I was 10 years ago. I wasn't the age I was 10 years ago before that. But if you listen to me talk at all them stages, you know, I'm talking like I know what I'm talking about. And at that time I did. But it's like, as you get older, as you experience, as you get more knowledge, you adopt more information. Some get retired, you know, some get changed, some get abandoned and let go. And some stands the test of time, you know. So I know I started my Gone Viral series like all the way back in like 2018, you know what I'm saying? Maybe even 2017, you know? And at this point, that's half a decade, you know, that's 5 years, you know? That's a lot of research, a lot of studying, a lot of clients, you know, a lot of experience, a lot I've learned since that time, you know? Oh, you know, I got some for you. You know, I got something for you. Yeah, Nick would be going off. Y'all definitely gotta mess with her. She got put your info down, and I'll make sure. I was just talking about going to people's sites. Put your site down real quick, so I could shout you out. Y'all definitely have to mess with the sister. Her Instagram is off the hook. She posts information like 2-3 times a day, profound reels lasting for 2 hours, testimonials and the whole nine. And she looks the part, you know what I'm saying? Got great skin, got great energy, know what she's talking about, you know. And her and her king got a whole setup down in Jamaica where they live in the life, dog. You know what I'm saying? They ain't just talking it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, they doing big things. All right, so herpes, man. Herpes. I'm just messing with you. You be going in though. Herpes, man. Say it. People don't even want to say it. You know what I mean? You know, herpes is like how the Catholic Church used to be like, you're gonna go to hell if you fornicate. It's the government's way of dictating your sex life. You know what I'm saying? They trying to scare everybody, man. Yeah, email wisdom dokubo. So this is the thing. I'm about to not right now, y'all. I'm about to, I'm saying, I'm trying to teach y'all something. People talking about orders in the chat. The website has an email address. If you're having a problem with your order, don't ask me on a live. I don't know. I don't do the website. That's not my work. This is what I do. And I formulate and I speak and I research. I'm doing all that work. I'm not doing the fulfillment. Though other people do that. My people do that. So go to the website. The website has the info at soionicbotanicals.com email. And we have a phone number. I don't get it. We got a phone number where people answer. We got an email where people respond. You know what I'm saying? So reach out that way, because I can't do nothing for you right now. You just want me to grab the bottle and just put it to the screen to you? If that was the case, I have people lined up on the other side of my screen. Like, here you go, here you go. You know what I'm saying? Email, phone number, inquiry. You'll get your response. It could be your address was wrong. You know what I'm saying? You live in a house and you didn't put the apartment number. You put 4 numbers down as your zip code. You'll be shocked and amazed how people do when they ordering stuff, bro. And they want to shout at me. And I'm like, dog, you know what I'm saying? You can't put Enchanted Amethyst Queen as your name for that. Post office ain't gonna deliver it to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that you from I'm from Emerald Tablet Lane as your address. You can't put that. You can't say Amenta. Like, you gotta put real information down. I'm talking extreme right now. You love your honey. I love your honey too. And I love my honey. You know. All right, so herpes. Okay, let's get back to it. So over the years, man, I'd have to say it's been a good 10 years now that the epidemic of herpes in the community is crazy. It's still crazy. We ain't even going to talk about post-vaccine people getting the breakouts. It's going to all make sense in a minute, you know. But you got couples that, you know, fell apart, or, you know, the girl got it or the guy got it, and they like, yo, you gave me that thing. You know what I'm saying? I thought you was loyal to me. Obviously, you slipping out on me and stuff because I don't got it. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have it before. Now you do got it, what you've been doing. So all this stuff happens, and a lot of this happens because there's a lack of understanding of what herpes is. You see? So we're told herpes is a virus. Herpes simplex 1, herpes simplex 2. We talked about it before. It stems from what? Chicken pox. Pox, right? We got chicken pox, we got shingles, we got herpes. These are all pox. P-O-X. Okay? P-O-X. And when you're dealing with chicken pox, it's not a virus, you see. And what you have to do is you need to go back and you need to look at all of the papers on herpes going back to like the 1920s. And you'll start to find the experiments that because a lot of this stuff we deal with now is based on a lot of papers that keep getting printed up. But those papers that keep getting printed up is based on papers from like 100 years ago. So they keep citing those same 100-year-old papers, and no one goes back and looks at those 100-year-old papers. Monkeypox is garbage. Don't believe the hype. It's you know what I'm saying? You know, when somebody ain't selling, your sneakers ain't selling. You know what I'm saying? And you calling the sneakers, you know, you calling them the Nebulas, and nobody's buying the Nebulas. You know what I'm saying? So you take the sign, you turn it upside down, you put stripes on it instead of polka dots. You know what I'm saying? You change the color of the shoelaces, and now you call them quasars. And you be like, we got a brand new shoe, y'all. Man, them ain't nothing but Nebulas, bro. You know? Monkeypox ain't nothing but chickenpox, dog. Same thing. Listen, don't believe the hype. Ooh, yeah, don't believe the hype. So you go back and you look back at these old papers, and what you're gonna find is they were doing experiments on rabbits, bro. They was scratching rabbits' eyes. You know what I'm saying? And trying to inoculate them with quote unquote vaccines, and it's when you read this stuff, it's so ludicrous. It's like, how is a house built on this quicksand foundation? You know what I'm saying? There is no evidence that backs up none of this herpes virus nonsense. You know, and when you look at the whole thing about viruses, you got to go into the whole concept of the cytopathic effect. You got to look at the difference between what truly is the isolation of a virus versus what scientists are calling the isolation of a virus. There's two different definitions, dog. You would think it'd be one. What does isolation of a virus means? It means, isolate means just that thing. Okay. If I have spaghetti, right? If I got spaghetti, meatballs, and Parmesan cheese, yeah, I know that's not vegan, y'all. I'm just making an example. Y'all alkaline people don't pop a gasket. Just making an example, right? Spaghetti, meatballs, Parmesan cheese with parsley and garlic bread and all that. And I say, I want to isolate spaghetti noodles. You know what I'm saying? That means you have to separate the noodles from all the sauce and all that stuff and everything else up in there, right? They don't need to be no oil and red stain and parsley flake or nothing on there. It needs to just be the noodles. Isolate that thing, you know? No. Listen. Once again, divide and conquer. Yeah, the monkeypox, they say they getting transmitted with homosexuals. That's just so people could bang on homosexuals more. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Whatever you do is your business. You know what I'm saying? I am not God, Yod Hey Var Hey judge to judge anybody and what they do. They got to answer for themselves based on the decisions they make. But everything in our society is based on judging everybody else. What you doing? What you doing? Oh, this has happened. They got this going on. That going. That. Just stay away from my babies. Don't try to have sex with my babies. Don't try and sell my children. You know what I'm saying? Let's like stay away from that. Okay. But you know, and having men dress up like women and play women's basketball and dunk, like, you know, that's kind of not like right. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something wrong with that right there. You know, but for the most part, it's like everything is trying to like get us to fight. If we always, but remember, that's how we lost running the world, y'all. Remember, the families was bickering, okay? And then opportunists slid up in there and took over. And the same thing happening now, but now it's on a human scale as opposed to races, okay? But I digress. So back to the herpes. Now, when you're dealing with viruses, you gotta isolate them. And when it comes to, I don't care if you're talking about measles, I don't care if you're talking about corona, I don't care what virus you're talking about. There is no paper that exists on planet Earth where scientists have isolated a virus. It just don't exist, bro. You just don't. Because if you wanna isolate a virus, right? What you gotta do is somebody has a viral infection, right? Based on the symptoms. Let's say somebody got herpes, okay? Let's say somebody got measles. Let's say somebody got whatever, right? You want to pull the fluid out. Let's say it's all in the lungs, right? You want to pull the lung fluid out, right? The lung fluid is going to have genetic material. It's going to have tissue. It's going to have all types of stuff up in there, okay? You're going to put it in a blender, right? You're going to blend all that stuff up because you want to chop it up down to itty bitty pieces because viruses are nano size. They mad small, right? We want to get them real small. So you got to chop it all up. But now it's cellular pieces and all types of stuff up in there. Big stuff, small stuff. We just want the small stuff. So we have to filter it. The same way you filter coffee grinds. The same way you filter tea. Okay? Cheesecloth, right? You get when you're doing your herbs, right? Y'all that are making nut milks, don't you get the cheesecloth? Because if you don't, then you got nut milk with just pieces of nuts all up in there, right? All right. So you filter it out. Now you just have the pure nut milk, or now you just have the tea, or now you just have the coffee. Okay. So now you filter out this fluid from the lungs. Now you got all the smaller pieces. So you take that and you put it in a centrifuge and you hit spin and right? And what ends up happening with this centrifuge is these particular centrifuges, as they spin, the contents of the fluid get separated by weight. So a virus is going to have certain weights. Okay, proteins are going to have certain weights. All the different other things that's in that strain liquid are going to have different weights, and they're going to be layered. Okay, the same way you see like a trifle cake, or you know what I'm saying? You look at layers of the earth, and you see the different layers. So you see these layers. Now, based on the weight, that's how you're going to know which layer the virus is. So you take a pipette, like a dropper, and you put the pipette in there, and you pull out that layer. And then you pull that layer out of the viral layer, and you put it on a slide, and you put it on a microscope, and you look, and you like, oh, what's that Leo DiCaprio meme? Oh, you know what I'm saying? From Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Oh, there's the virus. I see it. You know what I mean? The process that I just described, which is a universal scientific process that is used to isolate all type of stuff, has never once been done for viruses. Do you hear what I'm saying? In all the years of viruses since the 1950s with John Edward Enders, right, who got the Nobel Prize for measles, They never did that ever. What? And this is all on my Jab Dakota 1, 2, and 3 on my Patreon. You know what I mean? 2.5 hours each, 7.5, almost 8 hours, all three of them. Those was all done in 2021. Yeah, it's been some time. King Simon in the building. King Simon was in the house at the vegan extravaganza, bro. He got up there on stage, talk about numerology, and when he got done, he bust a kung fu roll off the stage, bro. My brother is 56, I believe, with a birthday on Wednesday. So everybody that's in the chat, let's give King Simon a happy prelated, because you know we right up on it. You know what I'm saying? Happy prelated birthday. You know what I'm saying? To our brother, he's about to celebrate. I think he's celebrating 56. Or if he's 56, he's about to be 57. But he don't look it and he don't act it. That bro got some energy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some energy. And he'll take you out in a heartbeat. You look at him sideways too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he was definitely in the building supporting me, supporting the queen, supporting the whole event. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, give him some love, y'all. Give him some love. Some of that birthday love. And his what do you call it? Critical period right now. You know what I'm saying? So he needs all the love and the energy, protection, and the light. Okay, celebration of his 56. So he's the double 5 right now. He the one about to go into the 11. He about to go into that portal. That's right. Give him that love, y'all. Give him that love, man. Give him that. You know what I'm saying? All he do is love, give love to the community, voice of the community. You ever need to be introduced? You ever need a DJ? You ever need anybody to host? This man right here going to keep people involved. He ain't scared. He ain't scared at all. All right, so y'all going to keep on giving him that love. So that's how you isolate a virus, and it's never been done. Y'all can go do y'all research, do the papers. Stefan Lanka put out a wager over in Germany, 100,000 euros. Anybody that proved that measles virus exists and nobody could do it, he won the bet. You know what I'm saying? He had to pay out nobody, bro. You know, and they tried to get him. They tried to get him on some slickness. He had to come back on them and everything like that, but he won in the end. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole, this is like this. The Wizard of Oz is some real shit, y'all. We in Emerald City like a mug, bro. Okay, so what have they been doing? Because when the corona came out, they had a whole paper said isolation of the coronavirus. So how they doing it, you know? Yeah, it is top class. It is top class for sure. So this is what they do. They take fluid from somebody who has symptoms. And the funny thing is you could take fluid from somebody who's healthy and you're going to get the same results. And then what they do is they combine bovine serum, which is like mucus and fluid from a cow, fetal serum from the amniotic sac of a cow, mix that together. Then they get vero cells, green monkey cells. These are the cells of kidneys from monkeys. Okay. And then they get antibiotics. All right. They get these antibiotics, these nephrotoxic, kidney toxic antibiotics. And they mix this stuff together. And what ends up happening after this process is the kidney cells of the monkeys, they break down. They get destroyed. They like decompose, you know what I'm saying? Because of the extreme toxicity, you know? So let me just step back a little bit. Initially, what they do with these kidney cells is they'll give them nutrients. They'll give them a nutrient medium to feed them, okay? To get them real healthy. And then they starve them. And then they feed it toxins. And then after the starvation and the toxicity, this cellular, the tissue decomposes. Now, cellular tissue has genetic material in there, right? There's DNA because tissues are cells and cells got nucleuses and nucleuses got DNA, right? So as the tissue gets destroyed, right, and the genetic material gets released, the components of that tissue envelop these genetic pieces, right, with vesicles and membranes. All right. So then when you look under a microscope, you see all these particles of genetic material enveloped in membranes, and you be like, oh, those are viruses. No, that's not virus. That is the dilapidation, the breaking down, the destruction of tissue based on starvation and toxicity. So the reason why people have viral symptoms is because they're starved and they're intoxicated. And how do we get starved and intoxicated? People like, man, I eat every day, son. What you talking about? Brother, what you talking about? I eat. You know what I'm saying? I had me some crab legs, bro. I had me some shrimp. You know what I'm saying? I had some oatmeal, had some eggs in the morning. You tripping. And I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? I go to church. I'm with the Lord. Interesting. Because consuming a whole lot of food has never been a healthy thing. You know, technically, we're not even supposed to be eating. You know, food is a vice in itself. Hence why Adam and Eve had an apple in the garden. Ain't that what led them out the garden? It's like, you ain't supposed to eat that, bruh. I thought apples was healthy. Yeah, they healthy. They healthy. You'd rather drink piss than a cup of shit, right? But you probably, if you had a choice, you wouldn't drink neither. So when you're dealing with Adam and Eve and you're dealing with temptation, in temptation comes from tempo, which represents time. So the whole temptation thing has to deal with spirit going into flesh and now being within inside the realm of mortality, where you're going to be within the realm of time. Time's going to dictate your actions, because when you're next to God, when you're in paradise, para means close to, by, adjacent, right? Dice is in deity, all right, Dios. So by God, close to God, in the vicinity of God, was with God in paradise. And we wanted to have a human experience. And in doing that, we had to jump into the realm of time, thus tempo, temporary, temperature, right? In regards to the seasons and stuff like that, we got into time. And why was the woman off it? Because she the devil? Nah, because she's the one that pushes the baby out. You know what I'm saying? She's the one, like, we give her the spark, but she actually pushes out the flesh. So yeah, she's the one that got the apple, you know, tempted to her, because, you know, guys ain't gonna think about getting down and dirty and having sex till they see a woman. You know what I mean? But till we see her, like, we ain't even think about that. We working, we getting our thing done, we doing this until she walk by, and it's like, that's right. Ooh, I could do that too. You know what I'm saying? So when you're talking about, and I've spoke on this before, when you, I never said urine therapy. See, y'all don't listen. You follow the bouncing ball. This is not alive to be dissected, and to hang on every word I say and go in the chat and leave me a paragraph about what I need to know. Because if you've been following me and you listen to my previous videos, you'd have saw how much I talk about urine therapy. So I know that. Okay. So I know. What I'm saying is, the average person who is going to watch this video is not about to drink their urine on their own. Okay? Let's they study and somebody brings it to their attention. They're just not going to do it right now. So I'm talking to them, homie. I'm talking to them. Okay? And if you sit a cup of piss and a cup of shit in front of them and told them to choose, they'll probably pick the urine before they pick the poop. All I'm saying. All I'm saying. Okay? Back to my point. All right. So when you're dealing with melanin, we know that melanin, the carbon, what makes our skin brown, black, blurple, has the ability to eat. But what does it eat? It doesn't eat hot dogs. It doesn't eat mangoes. It eats light. That's what melanin eats. And when you go inside the cell and you look at the theoretical process in regards to how melanosomes are formed, they are formed from the same prerequisite organelle as a lysosome. So a lysosome is responsible for the digestive aspects of a cell. Excuse me. You know, so when you got like white blood cells, you know, things like they got a lot of lysosomes because as all this trash and all this stuff is being engulfed, they start to take it in, they start to break it on down. You know what I'm saying? And they're breaking down all of that stuff and it gets digested in the cell. It has a lot of hydrogen peroxide up in there and other chemicals, enzymes, stuff that's going to break things down. But that's only needed if you're eating. Because if you're breathing, which is light, because people be like, I'd be like, sun is the number one nutrient. And then at the same time, I'd be like, yo, breath is most important. They think that's two different things. But it's like, what are you breathing? I'm breathing the air. How do we have air? Because of the atmosphere. Where does the atmosphere come from? Because of the light hitting the wet. Oh, okay. It's that whole little dance with the sunlight. So sunlight creates the air we breathe. That's right. That's right. We are breathing in the sun the same way we're bathing in the light of it. So we breathing that in. Okay, breathing that in. So we eat light. Melanin eats light. Melanin is able to eat all of the spectrums of the radio, of the electromagnetic spectrum. And in addition to that, all of the sounds, all of the frequencies, all of the tones. This is what melanin is able to do. So we're at a fork in the road, similar to the fork in the road that Adam and Eve was at when they had the tree of life, and then they had the tree of good and evil, tree of knowledge, right? Good meaning that you are saving your seed. You know what I mean? You're not dealing with your lower self, letting that take control of you. You know what I mean? And you're raising above that. You're vibrating higher. You're able to raise that seed. And yes, my Martian, Lucifer, the Kang, Essential Protocol Part 2 is on the Wiz 8. You know what I'm saying? I got the poster up, everything like that. I'm about to drop the date. We're going to do part 2. We're going to go all the way in on there. But I had to do this because I had a brother come up to me at the event yesterday. He said he's following me for a long time. He's still dealing with the herpes situation we built for a while. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this, son. I'm tired of my people being stressed out over this thing. I need to just talk to him. We had the events. You know what I'm saying? I got stuff on Patreon, but it's like, it's 2023, about to hit February. People about to be loving each other in the next 2 weeks, if you know what I'm saying. Y'all don't celebrate Valentine's Day, but you do at the same time. Because y'all buying flowers for your girls. I don't want to hear nothing you talk about. All right. Get back to the point, right? So we eat light. And when you're at this fork in the road between lysosome and the melanosome, if you are eating over consuming, gluttonous, right? Acidity and all that type of stuff, then yes, you have chosen the evil of the tree, and you're just going there. And now that you chose the evil, you know what I'm saying? You have to pick the lesser of evils. So, you know, you eat the fruits and you eat the vegetables and you go to the things that have the most light in it. But you had the opportunity to just deal with light. You see, because we do not Our body does not operate off of carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. Our body operates off of atoms, okay? Electrons and protons, neutrons. That's what we deal with, because when you go inside the mitochondria, we're dealing with the hydrogen atom, okay? Because when the carbohydrates and all that stuff come in there, they have to get broken down, and specific hydrogens are chosen. Particularly protium is picked, and you have protium, you have deuterium, you have tritium, and the difference is the amount of neutrons that are inside of the nucleus, okay? Protium is just proton and electron, while deuterium is proton, neutron, and electron. So I got two things in the nucleus and an electron, and you got proton, two neutron, electron. It got three things in the nutrients. That's why you heard about tritium in Spider-Man 2, the original with Dr. Octopus. That's what he was making a sun out of. He was looking for tritium to build a sun. So deuterium is not good for our system. It's good for babies in the beginning, and it's good for fruit because it promotes just like huge growth, but uncontrollable growth is what we call cancer, right? And deuterium is not what we need inside of our body. It is the molecule that's going to turn our gel back into a liquid state, and we about to get there real soon, okay? Our body is sea moss gel. Okay. This is why sea moss reigns supreme within inside of our consciousness when it comes to health. Okay. Because we are gelatinous creatures. Okay. Men love women with the jelly, do we not? Not sloppy jelly. We need that jelly held together. You know what I'm saying? We like that sea moss gel, okay? And the reason why we like sea moss gel, or the reason why we love sea moss gel so much, is because that is the natural state of our cell, is a gelatinous state, I be looking for my Gilbert Ling. Here we go. It is right here. Good. I got it on call. This book right here, man. Life at the cell and below cell level. This is one of the best investments you can make. You want to know about yourself. It's technical now. But you say you God. And in the beginning was the word. So word shouldn't be nothing to you. Yes, Gilbert Ling did that thing. And this is a throwback. This book go back to, what's the original? 1955. Yeah. 1955. What's that? 70 something years ago, bro? The cells are jelly. You understand? They're jelly. And the reason why we have a problem is because jelly gets liquefied. Jelly gets liquefied. There's no such thing as a disease. There's only compensatory mechanisms to reestablish the working order in the body. We're getting the herpes. Trust, we started with it. I'm giving y'all some sandwich meat right now. We're going to get to the other bread soon. Okay. Love you too. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Somebody painted that for me. I got gifted that from Mr. G. Matter of fact, I need to let him know I'm live right now. He's gonna be too through. I never tell him. Okay, so let's keep going, right? Sebi said there's only one cause to disease, and that's mucus, right? Diseases don't exist because every disease that exists is your body trying to get your shit together. They just call it sickness. They call it illness. They call it a disease, but it's not a disease. And it's done to manipulate your mind and your consciousness so you think about it in a bad way. Devil, demon, Satan, evil. And water is psychoreactive. So you start thinking a certain way and it's creating ripples in the waters of your body. And now you're going to start producing elements in your body that coincide with that thinking and that imagery. How else do you think we're able to have vivid thoughts when we dream in regards to our decarboxylated melatonin becoming DMT? Because water is a unpolarized mirror in every direction reflecting. So your thoughts are able to hit that water, and that water is able to reflect your thought in real time as an image that you see because it comes from you. You see? This gelatinous water stays a gel. And what ends up happening is through heat, through chemical, through acidity, through certain properties, the gelatinous state that your cells are in, that your tissues are in, becomes liquefied. It becomes liquefied. And what there you go. Look, he quick, boy. Mr. G in the building. What's up, son? Big shout out to Mr. G. You know what I'm saying? And that black and blue. I said that black and blue magic. That blue magic, BantanaOil.com. Y'all better go there and get that Bantana oil right now so y'all can get that hair looking real good, that skin looking fantastic, and eat some so you can get that saturated fat and you can make that testosterone. So y'all didn't even know it had that property too. I'm good, brother. How you feeling, man? I'm just we in session right now, man. I'm giving these people the word right now. I'm letting them know how dope Sabi was with what he said when he said, you know, there's only one disease, and that's mucus. And I'm explaining what he meant by that. You know what I'm saying? All right. So if you take sea moss gel and you put it in a pot with water or just in a hot pan, what happens to that gel? It melts, it liquefies, right? But then when you sit it out, you don't even have to put it in the fridge. Just leave it out. It turns back to gel again. This is what your cells do. So what ends up happening when you're eating the wrong foods, you're living the wrong lifestyle, you end up breaking the gel down into water. Now, this gel is the fourth phase of water. And the fourth phase of water is, you know, it got a lot of names. Right now, the name is exclusion zone. But it's a gelatinous state of water. And how this water works is based on the electromagnetic field that exists in our environment as a byproduct of the sun, moon, and stars that we live. Because, you know, we forget about the environment that we living in. We only think about us, you know what I'm saying? And the foods we eat, but the food come from the environment, and the environment is what grew that food, not you. The elements did that. Time did that. Sun, water, electromagnetic grounding of the earth. That's what brought that food into existence. You see what I'm saying? So the environment plays a huge role in it all. You see what I'm saying? You need the environment. The environment plays a huge role. So this electromagnetic field that exists, right? What it does is it affects water, because water's God, bro. It's the physical manifestation of the ether. Ether is not a physical thing. You can't touch it, can't grab it, but you know it exists based upon the effects that happens with the forces of nature within it, right? But water is the one physical mechanism that actually reflects the existence of ether. That's ether in physical form, okay? And it's a mirror on all sides reflecting. And when you look at it on this basic unit, it's H2O, Mickey Mouse sign. The head is the oxygen, the two ears are the hydrogen. The hydrogen side is positive, the oxygen side is negative. That is a polar molecule. And what ends up happening when the electromagnetic field interacts with water, anything that is a hydrophilic surface, meaning a water-loving surface, is going to start to form a layer of gel around it of negative charge, okay? Of negative charge. And a good example of a hydrophilic surface that will form a negative charge around it would be those molecules in your body that are proteins, would be your capillaries. This is how your blood flows through your body. Your blood flows through your body not based on your heart pumping, because your heart is not a pump. Your heart is actually a dam that stops the blood. Yes, stops the blood. I'll give you an example. You got 60,000 miles of blood vessels, baby, that wraps around the earth 3 times. You have a heart that weighs a pound. You let me know how that heart is supposed to push sticky viscous fluid through a small tube 3 times around the earth, 72 times a minute. How does that happen? It don't. Then when you have arteries that go to arterioles, which are smaller, and then arterioles that go to capillaries that are smaller, and capillaries that create a web network that then connect the venules, that then connect the veins. Where's the pump where the capillaries at? How in the extremities does the blood get down to the capillaries and make it all the way back up to the heart again? You telling me it's stuck? Because when blood gets down to the capillaries, it slows all the way down. It slows the same way that it slows down at the interchange which you're on the highway. If you're rolling down the highway and you get next to an interchange, what happens with the traffic? Traffic slows down. Marv in charge is in the building. David is in the building. What's up? That's right. A damn blood. Thank you very much. There you go hard, David. I appreciate that, bro. So when you're talking about stopping, when you're talking about driving on the highway and there's an interchange, all the traffic slows down. Why? Because people have to get off the exit. They have to get off and get on the other interchange. Everybody's slowing down. You know, people, when they drive, they want to stop through the drive-through. You don't go through a drive-through going 100 miles per hour. You have to slow down and stop. You know what I mean? Because there's an exchange taking place. So in your capillaries, there's an exchange of gases and nutrients taking place. It stops. So how the hell does blood stop and then start back up again and go all the way back up to the heart, dog? Ain't no pump doing that. The origination of the movement of your blood does not originate in the heart. The blood stops there. It's a vortex, and the vortex flow is there to bring the Spirit of God into you, into your soul, into you. That's what ends up happening inside the heart. And we're going to speak more about the heart in a second. But that slowdown that happens in the capillaries, in the smallest vessels, which are in the extremities, that's where your blood starts moving. This is why I'm black on this side, but I'm not on this side. I don't care. You be as black as my shirt right now. This side of your hand ain't black. The bottom of your feet ain't either. And why? Because infrared energy, also sweat glands, right, are there. Why? So that you are able to absorb the electromagnetic energy and the flow of the earth and the energy around you. And what that does is create the charge. Infrared penetrates very easily through your hands. You know that when you put it up too light, you see that your whole hand turns red. 42% of the sun is infrared light. That infrared light is what separates the charge in water. And what ends up happening is, as it separates that negative from that positive charge, just think of a capillary. The walls of your capillary inside are all going to be charged up with the negative charge. And in the center, you're going to find positive charge. And that positive charge creates a proton force. That proton force equates to movement. So life is about flow. You know what I'm saying? People want to dance. We want to move. Life is about flow. So high blood pressure is a situation where your flow rate drops. Why? Because you're dealing with an electromagnetic environment. You see what I'm saying? And that electromagnetic environment, the non-native electromagnetic environment, is an antithesis to the natural electromagnetic environment, because the natural electromagnetic environment is a broad, full spectrum, non-pulsed wave. You see what I'm saying? Y'all following me? But when you're dealing with 5G and you're dealing with all these other frequencies, those are pulse wave specific. It's the difference between a broad situation and a radio station. When you're dealing with a radio, you have to tune into that radio station. You have to tune into a specific channel. That's what 5G is. 5G is specific. Tune into 107.9. Tune into V103. Our body ain't built for just that specific tuning. It's a broad spectrum that we deal with. Okay? So what happens when we deal with those non-native electromagnetic frequencies is they destroy the proton motive force. They destroy the exclusion zone. They liquefy the gel. You hear what I'm saying? They liquefy the gel. All right, let's keep going. All right, so how do you get your flow back? You know what I'm saying? You get your flow back by grounding. You ground on the earth. The earth is supercharged. You're going to get electrons that way. You're going to get electrons through the piezoelectricity on the beach. You're going to get the electrons from the Leonard effect by walking by the waters and getting all the vapors that are highly negative charge. All of this negative energy is what charges you up. This is what Sebi was talking about being alkaline, because alkaline is a surplus of electrons, while oxidation or acidity is a loss of electrons. So his whole premise was, we are adopting too much of an acidic lifestyle, how we live in, and we need to get back to a more alkaline way of living. So he was very extreme with what he was offering at the time, but at the time, niggas was on crack rock, dog. Okay? Folks was on crack at the time Sebi was rocking. Y'all forget. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, please like this video if y'all feeling this, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving y'all some real information. So our body is based on compartments of gel. Okay, we're CMOS gel compartments. And what happens is when we eat certain things that are extremely acidic and toxic to our body, like we just talked about the non-native electromagnetic frequencies of the phones and 5G towers and the blue screen and all that type of stuff. That's one thing. But then when you're talking about the foods you eat, the processed foods and all that type of stuff that's destroying you, it's dissolving in there. It's dissolving in there. If you take CMOS gel, okay, CMOS gel is gel. Let's talk about Chondrus crispus. Chondrus crispus gets in its gel form based on the carrageenan that's inside. Iota carrageenan and kappa carrageenan. There's also a carrageenan called lambda carrageenan. Lambda carrageenan has a high quantity of sulfur. All the carrageenans have sulfur. The lambda has the highest amount. That high amount of sulfur that it has in it prevents it from gelling. So if you get a CMOS that is predominantly lambda carrageenan, it will not gel. And this happened to me on purpose one day with Larry back in like 2017 when we was in Detroit. We went to this spot called Zerbo's that had natural herbs, and I needed to get some CMOS. And I went there and they had this like purple CMOS in there. It was different. It was beautiful. I was like, oh, this is great. And I grabbed it up and I went in that kitchen and started chefing it up. And that thing was not gelling. And I did not understand at the time, you know what I'm saying? But in the studies and in the research and finding out about lambda carrageenan, I was like, oh, this is predominantly, this herb predominantly got lambda carrageenan in it, and it won't gel. You see what I'm saying? So you put certain components inside of CMOS gel, it'll lose its gelatinous state. The same way, if you put certain properties in your body, it'll lose your gelatinous state. Now, Sebi said that the only disease is mucus. Well, mucus lining lines your alimentary canal, lines the vaginal canal, and mucus is throughout the whole body. Mucus is your body. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what ends up happening is when you end up dealing with toxicity and acidity and things like that, your body has to get rid of it, and it's going to get rid of it by enveloping it in mucus and getting it out your body. Okay? So one of the ways it happens, you know what I mean, with your nose, why does your nose run? Your nose runs because you got gel up here and you have to get something out, so it liquefies and then your nose runs. Okay, that's liquefied gel. All right. And when the situation, and that happens because of fever, you know what I'm saying? Fever heats it up. liquefies and it drops. And once the fever is gone, what happens? It dries up. Why does it dry up? Because it went back to being gel. It can't drip if it's gelatinous. You hold sea moss upside down in the gel state, it ain't falling nowhere. So this is letting you know how the body has all of these compensatory mechanisms in place in order to get us right. And what happens with Western medicine and pharmaceuticals and drugs are they sweep all this stuff under the rug. They inhibit all of these natural processes from taking place. You see what I'm saying? And that's going to hurt you. That's going to tear you up. We got to go through it. It's like when you're young, you get bullied, and that makes you stronger. You know what I'm saying? People talk about you, and it gives you a hard skin for the world, right? You get older, you get in a fight, you defend yourself, makes you stronger. You go to college, everybody don't like you. You was cool in high school, but you a punk now in college, and you got to learn that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like throughout life, we deal with hardships, and the hardships helps us evolve. But some reason when it comes to health, we just want to be, what's the new statement with modern women? I want that soft life. I think it's soft life, right? Soft life, soft life. like. All right. So let's start getting there. Let's start getting there. We need to get to this herpes thing, right? So I talked about the whole viral thing early and how all that's trash, right? So what we're dealing with is starvation and toxicity, and a lot of that is what leads to the symptoms that we know as viruses. But then people will be like, KT, like, why do I break out? Well, when you deal with people with herpes, you got two categories. You got people that's breaking out all the time, or three. People break out all the time on a constant. Then you got people that break out years apart. Then you got people who was diagnosed with herpes ain't never broke out. And when I did the messengers with Victor Bowman and Mr. G at the Brooklyn Masonic Temple back in July, we dropped the information on everybody, but I spoke specifically about the fact that in order for you to find that you have herpes in the first place is based on a protein. They never see no virus. You would think, as big as it is, that when you have herpes, they print out a picture and be like, yo, this is what you got. That never happens. They never see it. They never show you. What they do is they look for antibodies, and the antibody that they look for is a ubiquitous antibody in your body. So it's like most of the time you don't even have no herpes, bro. You see what I'm saying? But it gets you on medication. It gets you to keep coming back in there, and then it gets you stressed out. Then you need other types of medication. Then it prevents you from loving for real, because there was a time we was just loving each other. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was sex, kissing, hug, whatever, like we loved. Now it's more fornication, it's more perversion, it's all that, because we got all this stuff attached to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, so where the breakouts is coming from? All right, so this is where the research started coming in. So I started noticing there was kind of a correlation between not clotting, but how you got blood you got thinning blood, you know what I'm saying? But then you have blood that thickening blood, not where blood is getting into the clot stage, but we talking about fibrinogen, you know what I'm saying? And that whole property, and I started seeing a correlation between the collagen, and herpes. And how do we know we have herpes? What is the biggest telltale sign? Is the fact that you have these blisters that appear on the surface of your skin, right? And if you rub against somebody else, then the other person ends up getting it. Now, touching and passing something from one person to another isn't always the way that we get things from a contagious perspective. And one of the examples that I gave is I yawned. You know what I'm saying? Now, out of all these people who are watching right now, somebody probably yawned on the other side of the screen. And my thing is, did I send some type of juices of fluid cybernetically through this screen to you in order to make you yawn? No. And why do women who have cycles at different times of the month, Portal said that they just yawn with me. See what I'm saying? We connected, dog. Women that have different cycles at different times of the month, right? And then it's Portal out of all names. Ain't that deep? They end up having their cycle on the same day if they move in with one another. So we're connected. We're connected because we're made out of water, right? We have the Empyrean Sea of water between us in the space, but the space is a field. We think space is empty. We think that it's negative space. But space is actually what connects us and bonds us all into a global jelly. So it really ain't really wireless because your thoughts and your frequencies is going to wiggle that gel. And because it's a standing wave, it's instantaneous. You see what I'm saying? So breakouts take place because you have a collagen deficiency. And collagen is going to be broken down when your gel has broken down. How do I know this? What is the superior form of sea moss? What's the sea moss that Sabi always talks about? Let me see this in the chat. I'm not even going to say it. What's the sea moss that Sabi always talks about? Put it in the chat for me. I'm going to wait. Let me know, y'all. What's the name of the sea moss? Purple moss. No. What's the name of the sea moss that Sabi talks about all the time? Purple. Irish. No. Wrong. Next. What's the name of the sea moss that Sabi always talks about? Come on with it. Where y'all at? Okay. Close. Corpus Christus. Okay. Yes. Trail Haze. Chondrus crispus. Thank you. Okay. So Chondrus crispus is the sea moss that Sabi always talks about. He talks about Honduran too, but mostly Chondrus crispus. And I came up with him and I went to the events and it was the Chondrus crispus flakes that he was pushing and that he talked about all the time. Chondrus means cartilage. Crispus means curly. Sea moss is collagen because when you take gelatin, when you take collagen from animals, you boil it down. What it look like? It's jelly. You know what I'm saying? Jello. You know what is Jello? Jello ain't nothing but animal sea moss. You know what I'm saying? So sea moss is collagen. So you have a collagen deficiency. All diseases or all ailments or all compensatory mechanisms of the body that results in blistering means that you have a collagen connective tissue problem. Okay. And the jabs destroy your connective tissue and your collagen. All right. The stress you're living, the food that you're eating, and your sexual practices that you engage in can disturb your collagen mechanisms. If you're suffering from scurvy, which has people teeth fall out, heart stop, and all that on the ships back in the day, that's from a lack of vitamin C. Vitamin C is a cofactor in the synthesis of collagen. So you can have no vitamin C. You could be lacking all types of very important natural minerals. You know? Is it possible to take too much? Is it possible to have too much? I'm gonna ask all the men. Is it too much jelly, y'all? Is it too much jelly to handle in your life? I don't think so. Nah, ain't no too much jelly. Nah. So vitamin C plays a huge role. as a cofactor, okay, with proline, all right, in the construction of collagen. Collagen is the most abundant protein in the body. It is the protein of the body, and it's a semiconductor. It's a p-type, n-type semiconductor. All right, look up the definition on that in regards to the exchange of electrons that take place that creates capacitors and batteries and mechanisms to create energy, sustainable energy. We are designed to live forever. We just eat ourselves to death. We intoxicate ourselves to death, and we create senescent cells that grow in number as we get older, until the point there's more senescent cells than stem cells, which are cells that live forever and are able to form into any other specific type of cell of an organ that we need them to be. Why do you think stem cell is such a big conversation every time politics comes up? It's the answer. You know, yes, like, subscribe, share. This is real shit right here we talking about, baby. You know? So we also talk about the lysine-arginine ratio when it comes to herpes, right? Because arginine deals with the breaking, the too much of the arginine over the lysine does what? It's kind of like Wolverine's healing factor. Wolverine has the ability to heal from any wound. So I think in one comic book there was a situation where someone created a virus, or it was like a virus, some type of disorder, where the mechanism that caused him to heal was not able to go as fast as the property that was destroying him. Okay. So the arginine-lysine ratio is just that, where lysine is also a main factor with vitamin C that promotes the production of collagen and the building of tissue. Okay. And when the arginine-lysine ratio is off, then you have the deficiency being upheld, as opposed to you fulfilling the natural properties that you need in order to regenerate that collagen and regenerate that connective tissue. So that's another reason for the lysine-arginine ratio. So you need to increase the lysine, okay? Because it's a major component in building that tissue up. Okay, yeah, he started aging. Appreciate that, Muhammad. Yeah, that's what happened. And then you got old man Logan, I guess, after that point, right? You know? So we need to take care of our collagen. That's why, what do they say with herpes, right? You rub somebody, the people who break out, those of y'all that are watching right now that break out often, right? You rub against something too much, you get blisters, right? Why? Because that's your skin. And your collagen is deficient. It's not enough. It's not good. It ain't working well. There's too much toxicity, poison, and the natural gelatinous structured state of water that exists inside that old H3O2 state of water up in you is broken down. Another way you know that structured water breaks down, gelatinous water breaks down, that leads to inflammation and chronic issues, is because what's one of the first things that happens in inflammation? Do you not swell? Where does the swelling come? Where the hell that water come from? Huh? They got like, you got like a tap. They like, yo, we got the whole, we need some water. And then they go around the corner and they plug up the hose to the fire hydrant and then they just start flooding an area. No, the water's already there. It just liquefies. And now that it's not structured, it's bulk water. So you look bulky Bartocamus up in this thing. Bulky. And edema is just that. Edema is the loss of flow, the loss of structure of water. Thus, you're sloshing around with water balloons. That's what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Now, the other property that we deal with in regards to herpes is the whole parasite aspect. Okay, now we got to talk about parasites. Because by definition, babies is parasites, right? They attach to a host and they eat your ass out of house and home till they good enough. And then they come up out of you and they keep leeching off of you. And if it wasn't for love and vasopressin and oxytocin, the man, we be calling them trichinosis. You know what I mean? I'm getting tricked out up in here. You know what I'm saying? I love my babies though. All right, so what am I saying? Why do parasites exist? Another gem Sabi used to drop. Mr. G can second this if you still up in the chat, bro. Mr. G, Dr. Sabi used to talk about bed sores, right? People who are in the bed and they got bed sores, when they would roll them over and look at the sores after a certain amount of time, what would be in the sores? Worms, right? Where these worms come from? Where they come from? You know what I'm saying? Anybody put them parasites there? You got to understand that you're an incubator of life. You understand? Women are able to push out babies in us, but both of us, man and woman, are able to. That's right, David Juggling. We about to get there. Both of us. Do I got babies? Of course I got babies. I'm a daddy. I'm a daddy. What you talk about? Both of us have life that we create up inside of us. You know what I'm saying? And why do parasites appear in the first place? It's gonna blow your mind. The reason why we end up developing parasites is because of heavy metals. So you see a lot of these videos where they got fish, right? They'd be like, oh, you're not supposed to eat the fish because the fish got all these worms in it. But there's the reason why there's parasites in the fish is because there's heavy metals in the ocean. Thus, there's heavy metals in the fish, and the parasites appear because of the heavy metals. Same in you. Parasites eat heavy metals. That's their digest. That's what they do. Hum, 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 hum. They tear it up. Nah, it ain't sugar. Nah, that's not what they after. They're there because of your heavy metals. And we live in a society where everybody tatted up. People want to know why they got herpes. I guarantee you, bro, that majority of the people that got herpes also got tattoos. And what are tattoos? Where does that ink come from? Where does that dye come from? They're all heavy metal dyes. The food, the processed food you eat in, titanium oxide and the like. What is that? Heavy metals. What's coming from the chemtrails? Heavy metals. What are in the foods now? Heavy metals. What's in the makeup y'all women are putting on your face? Heavy metals. Huh? That's the pandemic. What? Heavy metals is everywhere. And what was another thing that Sabi used to talk about? Cellular chelation. We need to chelate. What is chelation? Chelation is removing heavy metals from the body. Parasites are generated. They are nature's chelators. God produces parasites in you to get rid of heavy metals when you take too long to get them out your system yourself. So when you bullshitting, taking your time and not getting it done, what ends up happening is the parasites appear to consume and remove the heavy metals. When the heavy metals are gone, the parasites go too. But if you keep consuming heavy metals and you keep that cycle going, then the parasites is like, you know what? I wasn't really much of an Ohio person, but I kind of like Cincinnati, and I think I'm going to stay here. So then you got to think about this. When people are getting jabbed up their nose with swabs that are not cotton, that are actually glass, right, with heavy metals getting implanted all up in here, when people are getting injected with things that have heavy metals all up in them, right, mercury, cadmium, arsenic, and all types of stuff like that. Even when we go back to Louis Pasteur, the only reason why he won the battle with Antoine Béchamp with the terrain theory versus germ theory was because he cheated, and all the sheep that died in his experiment was because he fed them arsenic, heavy metals, right? So, heavy metals is the reason why parasites end up existing. So now you got them tearing it up. You got heavy metals in the tissue. They're tearing up the tissue. They tearing that up. So this is how the parasites connect to the herpes. You see? So parasite cleanse, heavy metal chelation, collagen, vitamin C. This is the things that you need. These are the things that you need. Very, very necessary. You know what I'm saying? So for those of y'all that are dealing with herpes, these are the things that you need to focus on. All right. Not all of the diseases. I mean, not all of the medications and everything like that. You got to work on your collagen, producing collagen in your body again. You know what I mean? People that are eating meat, you know, y'all can eat y'all collagen. Go, I mean, because you know, no matter how much vegan information, alkaline information we give them, y'all, they're gonna eat what they eat. So my thing is, if you're gonna eat that stuff, eat the right stuff, eat that collagen. Then go for the collagen, go for the gristle, go for that stuff, you know. And if you are vegan and you are plant-based and you ain't dealing with that, then you need to deal with the Chondrus crispus. And I'm not saying that, you know, Honduran sea moss, you know what I'm saying, and Tanzanian moss and the other mosses are not going to provide help for it. But I'm like, Chondrus crispus was named that for a reason. And when you see how it's shaped and the gel and the properties, and Sabi just stood by it, you know, that's what C3 is, you know what I'm saying? And that's what matters, you know? So y'all want to get that thing up off you. That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. Okay. You need collagen production because those blisters are dealing with the deficiency of the production of collagen, coupled with the parasite situation, low vitamin C. These combination, this combination of these situations right here is why you're dealing with what you're dealing with. You know? Now, with all that being said, you know, I don't never talk about nothing without having, you know what I'm saying, something to offer. If y'all are interested, in what I got to offer. But this is what I got for you. Y'all could do y'all own thing, but I got CL5, baby. That's what we got now. Brand new package. It's on the site as we speak. As we speak these words, we got that CL5 on the site. The link is in the description. You know what I mean? I could put the banner up here so you can see soionicbotanicals.com. This is where we got it. And what do we have here? Let me break this down. What is in this package? We have Chondrus crispus, purple Chondrus crispus, fresh. Do you understand? This stuff was picked and wild harvested, fresh purple Chondrus crispus. Not just Chondrus crispus, but the purple Chondrus crispus, the dark baby, right? So we got your cartilage, we got your collagen, boy. Then we got a whole jar of Nessu nectar up in here. A whole jar. A whole jar. And why is Nessu nectar necessary? Because it is one of the greatest wound healers on the planet. I specifically saw with my own eyes the cross-hatching scaffolding produced by my body as I was getting my the callus that tore and ripped a hole in my hand. In 3 days, I saw how my skin grew back, my connective tissue grew back. I saw my collagen being produced. I saw the white crystalline cross hatches. It was beautiful. It was geometric miracle. You know what I'm saying? And anybody who has gotten a honey, who has cut themselves, the little girl over in the UK, you know, I got somebody right now that got a 5-inch laceration that occurred from their wrist all the way to the middle of their hand. They're healing right now. And of course, when he gets fully healed, I'm going to put all the pictures up here to show y'all what he did with the honey. But it's one of the best wound healers. That's why when I was doing the H&J knockout and even up at the messengers, I was stressing putting the honey on the breakout so much because it relieves and it removes that breakout, stops that breakout from taking place. You see what I'm saying? So it's definitely about to be up in here because it's going to work well. So you take this Conjus Crispus that you're getting, which is fresh, you know, and once you soak it and you blend it and you make your gel, you're going to then take some of that gel, you're going to put it in a blender and you're going to whip that thing with the Nessuit nectar. You're going to whip it with the honey. You're right. You're going to take some of it and you're also going to put some of it on your infected areas, you know, where your collagen's at, because you want the properties to go up in you so that you can start stimulating collagen production in your body that way. And then you also want to get it from this side as well, from the topical. The other mechanism that we have up in here is the juglidine, okay, which is a tried and true formula I have in regards to parasites. You know what I'm saying? It's an amazing tonic, and it also has some vitamin C up in there as well. So it's a parasite cleanse and it's a parasite modulator. You know what I'm saying? So we're dealing with the modulation of the whole parasite situation that's going on in there, helping to get these heavy metals out. All right. And helping to regulate the overabundance and oversaturation of these parasites that are destroying your tissues. Okay. Then we have a couple new items up in here. One of them is Indian gooseberry, known as amla. And the reason why we have that is because amla has the highest amount of vitamin C of any other fruit on the planet. The numbers is just stupid. It's like, you know, people go and they get like vitamin C. Taking amla is like straight vitamin C. This is how the Indians like deal with all their issues, because they eat this. They have it soaked in like syrup. They have it in vinegar. They have it just as a fruit on its own. They have it dried. This is just something that the Indians rock with all the time. And gooseberry grows in the Caribbean as well. It grows on my island of St. Croix. My sister, big shout out to Nataki Fayataki. She has it growing in her front yard like wildfire. So that's the vitamin C element. And then the last thing that we have in this CL5, which is miraculous, is carambola, star fruit. And why star fruit? Star fruit got a stupid amount of lysine. And not only does it have a stupid amount of lysine, its ratio to arginine is just unimaginable. It has 26 milligrams of lysine in 100 grams. Do you understand how much of an amino acid you got to have for you to have 26 milligrams per 100 grams of anything? So if you got the powder, do you know how much lysine is in there? Okay, so you got the lysine, and it got a high amount of vitamin C too. So you got the high vitamin C and lysine from the carambola. You got the high amount of vitamin C coming from the gooseberry. You got the vitamin C and the parasite mechanism coming from the juglidine. You got the wound healing, microbial, and other secondary plant metabolite saturation of the Nessuit nectar. And then we have the purple Conjus Crispus, CL5, baby. This is something that for a lot of y'all that are struggling and, you know, you don't know which way to go. You know, I gave a lot of this information. Y'all don't want to do it yourself. One-stop shop right here. All right. There's a sale price for it as I'm starting off with it this week. You know, this is something that's going to probably be up for a while, but I definitely have a sale price going on right now. It's available right now on the site. Y'all want to jump on that, there's only a certain number available for the sale. Once that number goes, and it goes to its regular price. This is also a way for you to get all these items extremely discounted. The Nessuit nectar is going to be lower. The jar, the juglidine is going to be all of these are lower because, you know, it's packaged. That's how you're supposed to do it. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, Dave is jacked. Dave is Jack too. He know what he talking about. He ain't no small dude. You know what I'm saying? Um. Oh, the cat farmers all day. Okay, that's what's up. Appreciate that, Moon Rocker. I ain't even been looking at the chat for a while. Um, Hepatitis, when you're dealing with the liver, good liver herbs are going to be burdock. Another good liver herb is quassia. You know what I'm saying? Quassia, burdock are some real good. Cardo Santo, that's a good liver herb as well. Dandelion root is a good liver herb. All of those are real good liver herbs right there. Listen to that. Eating sea moss for 30 years. Never had herpes in my day. I was a gunslinger, if you know what I mean. That's what I'm saying. You kept your collagen on point. So that's the sum of everything I'm telling y'all right now is collagen, collagen, collagen. All right, get your collagen back up because it's not just about connective tissue. It is a semiconductor, and this triple helix that the collagen's in. It has water in the center, structured water in the center of it. And part of the reason why you're able to wake up in the morning is because collagen gets a signal. It unwraps slightly, and all the water splashes out. And the same way somebody would splash water on you, and you'd be like, "What the?" That splashing is what ends up waking you up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I already said. You said what diet? I already said it. I already said it. Just watch this video again. I'm about to repeat myself. What we've been talking for? An hour and 27 minutes, 300 and some odd people up in here. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, man, this is it right here, man. This is what we doing, And the diet that I say is CL5. That's the diet. Get this CL5 right here. Y'all ask me about this herpes thing all the time, y'all, and also, of course, gumbo limbo. I tell people about that all the time in regards to which is another herb. I think we might be out of it at the time right now, but y'all have always asked, okay, but you got a package for it, brother. Do you have anything to offer? So I have something to offer now. All right, it's here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Cerecy is also Cerecy just good all around. That's just an amazing bitter melon. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all been asking for it. Here go to CL5. A quintessential combination of properties that y'all are going to need. To help you if you're dealing with this issue, or maybe somebody dealing with this issue. You know what I'm saying? And it's a preventative issue too, because one of the byproducts of that jab has been this. If you look it up, the amount of herpes cases are shooting through the roof because it's destroying people's connective tissue, it's destroying people's collagen, and they're having all these blisters and they're having all these breakouts and things like that. So this is a mechanism right here. This is a strategy right here. This is a hack right here that you can use. And of course, in addition to this, structuring the water in your body. How do you structure the water in your body? You do that through grounding with the morning AM light. You do that from watching the AM light, watching the sunrise, sun gazing in the morning, not in the afternoon when it's all hot and volatile. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? If you was frying something in a pan, you'll put it in, near the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Not when it's at its, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna, matter of fact, let me switch that up. You're not gonna put it in there when it's like covered with water when it's at its hottest, because that thing is just gonna pop all over you and destroy you. You want to make sure you remove all that water. You know what I'm saying? You put that thing in there nice and safe so it don't splatter. You don't get all stuff all over yourself. You splashing into that oil when you look at the sun in the afternoon. You don't want to do that. So you do it in the morning. So, you ground, you get your charge that way. You go by bodies of water, you get your charge that way. Hug a tree. Trees are one of the greatest energy regulators on the planet because they're grounded. You know what I mean? They're touching all of the areas of existence. They're in the underworld, they're in the visible world, and they're reaching up to the sky. You see what I'm saying? And when you hug them, you connect them because you are a tree as well. You're an upside down tree, or they're an upside down human. Your trachea and your respiratory system ain't nothing but a tree. As you inhale and exhale, you inhaling oxygen, exhaling carbon dioxide. They're inhaling carbon dioxide and exhaling oxygen. It's a wonderful relationship, you know. Now I ain't co-signing meat, but I mean I know people eat meat and people ain't about to stop eating meat, you know. So it's just what it is. Well, this is my thing. I can't say that. I haven't studied every person on the earth to know whether or not nobody has never been able to benefit from meat. I just can't honestly say that. There are people that have eaten like Mr. Hooker, which was one of my mentors. His favorite food was cow foot. He ate cow soup all the time. He had gelatin all the time. And this dude was super duper strong. I've never seen no pimple bump, nothing on his skin, nothing on his body. You know what I'm saying? So I know, and then oxtail is a big thing in the Caribbean too. So, like I said, I'm not here to change people into eating into another way. You eat a certain way, you eat a certain way. So I'm like, if you're gonna continue to eat meat, you ain't about to give up meat. You're gonna keep doing what you're doing, and you still dealing with it. I'm still gonna offer the best way out I can. So I would say, if collagen is the issue, go and consume some collagen. Then see how that works for you. It might benefit you. You know, me personally, I'm going to stick with Conscious Crispus. I'm going to stick with the plant source. That's how I'm going to rock. You know what I'm saying? But everybody ain't going to rock like this. Everybody, listen, we're not going to live in a vegan world. It just don't work that way. And right now they're trying to force the vegan on us, which makes me want to rethink the whole plant thing, because it's like, if they pushing it, you know, it's bad. You know, I've been talking about the definition of plant-based for years now, that plant-based don't mean from a vegetable or a fruit that grows out the ground. No, plant-based means manufacturing plant. It means processed, you know, process-based. You see what I'm saying? And you're not about to tell me that if I pulled a burger from a cow that has been living out in nature, eating natural herbs and all that stuff, and the person ends up what do they call it, halal and kosher, end up slaughtering that cow and making ground chuck and making a burger, and then I put that next to an Impossible Burger, that both of them are horrible. No, that Impossible Burger is way worse. Way worse. I'm just not going to eat burgers at all. You know what I'm saying? If you want to know what I think about HSV, it's CL5. Stop asking me all them other questions. I don't think y'all get it. This is my answer. So do you think if I do this and I do that, nah, bruh. Boom. This is what I got for you. All right. I gave you a whole hour and 20 something minutes of free love and information. You know what I'm saying? And in addition to that, I gave y'all the free solutions for y'all to go on and get for yourselves. But if you want to support me, you know, Dr. Sabi, because, you know, he raised me, my family, you know, my research, you know, and all that I want to do in regards to, of course, reciprocating it back to y'all, then you can support me this way. Because it's not like it's a donation. You're definitely getting some out of it. And even if you don't have it, this combination of these products right here ain't gonna do nothing but reinforce not just your connective tissue collagen, but the whole semiconductor property that it offers in regards to just stabilizing your system, you know, getting that gel back. The reason why I throw the water away is because there's a lot of there's sand, gravel, there's all types of stuff that comes off that sea moss after you soak it. You know, that's to kind of cleanse all that off. Now, I mean, you could take a cheesecloth and filter it out and keep, I mean, Y'all can do what y'all want. I can't make you. Y'all grown folks, man. Do what you please. I'm gonna give my suggestions, and that's it. That's it. Oh yeah. There's definitely a lot of gems up in this one right here, man. A lot of gems up in here. I'm gonna close. I'm gonna close with love. I'm gonna close with love, y'all. Let's talk about the heart. Let's go back to the heart. So I talked about the cardiovascular system and the heart not being a pump, but it actually being a dam and a vortex that slows down the blood because the blood is at its fastest speed right before it enters the heart and when it leaves the heart. So it doesn't increase the speed, it stops the speed. And what we need to understand is, also with this jab, another epidemic that we're dealing with right now is heart issues. It's the number one cause of death, right? So why is everybody dying from heart issues? People say congestive heart failure and congestive hints at the premise that people have clogged arteries, coronary arteries, and stuff like that around their heart. Thus, nutrients, blood can't get to the heart and the heart ends up dying. But that is not what it is. Because even though people want to do bypass surgeries and all types of stuff like that to get blood to go other ways around the heart does that automatically. And 90% of the blood volume that the heart receives are not from the coronary arteries, the main arteries that are on the heart. The 90% of the blood that the heart receives for its nutrients, for its energy, and for its charge actually comes from its capillaries. Actually comes from the small vessels. You see what I'm saying? The small vessels. So, this is why diabetics have such an issue, because diabetes is a problem with the small vessels. And when the small vessels are destroyed, that's where your flow charge starts at. That's where the pump happens at. You see what I'm saying? So if you don't have an area for the flow, for the pump, for the charge to take place, then it starts breaking everything down. So you have to reestablish that. Now, when you're dealing with your heart beating don't have nothing to do with the blood pumping. That ain't what causes your heart to beat. Your heart beats based on the sympathetic nervous system. Your autonomic nervous system is based on your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system. Autonomic meaning that you don't have to, it's involuntary. You don't have to tell your body to do it. It does it on its own. I'm telling my arm to move right now. I'm telling my head to turn right now. I'm telling my head to go up and down right now. I'm telling my finger to point at the camera right now. But when I breathe, I don't have to tell it. When I digest, I don't have to tell it. When my heartbeat, I don't have to tell it. Now, parasympathetic is rest and digest, and this is the process that you deal with when you're eating your food. You eat your food, you need to be sitting down, you rest, you digest, you would around a lot of people that you love so that your water can be psychoreactive and you can have love and energy inside of your gel water as you're, experiencing your culture and talking about your day and your traditions with your people and eating your food, loving it as this food is, as this water and this mucosa is helping this food move along. It's creating a loving situation. And this is why people can eat differently than what we term. That's why Sabi was never a vegan. Sabi says alkaline. Sabi says alkaline. And Victor sells rattlesnake. Rattlesnake is not a vegetable. Okay? You know what I mean? So meat can't be bad like that. I sell honey. That's not vegan, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's about alkalinity. It's about electrons. And if it's offering the charge, if it's offering the health, then that's what matters, not doctrine, not dogma, not cult followings. Do you understand what I'm saying? You got to grow up, and it's about what works. All right. It's about the properties and things that work for you. Okay. It's about your life. If you hold on to something and it's not doing you well and you live your life and waste all your time and die, what was that? That's not good. You see what I'm saying? So let me get back to the heart. So parasympathetic is rest and digest, right? But the other side of that is sympathetic. Sympathetic is fight or flight. This is your adrenal glands. This is your adrenaline. Okay. Adrenaline, noradrenaline, epinephrine, norepinephrine. All right. What does this do? This reroutes all the blood from your visceral organs to your extremities, specifically, right? Where the charge is at, because you have to either run, as fast as you can to get away from bombs dropping or bullets flying or somebody trying to kill you or hurt you, right? Or chase after somebody that you need to catch up with, or a fight where you stand your ground and you defend yourself, and you got to use your fists and you got to use your legs and your hips, you know what I'm saying, and your abdominal muscles, not your stomach and your intestines. So it moves the blood from the visceral organs into the extremities so you can do that. But if you're moving blood from your visceral organs to your extremities, then how are you going to get the nutrients out of the food you're eating? You never are. You're just going to keep on. I was saying this at the vegan extravaganza. I said, you're going to have Gucci shit. You're going to have Prada bowels. You're going to have Louis Vuitton excrement. You're going to have purple label feces. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just going to eat and it's going to come out and you're not going to get none out of it. And that's how you know that we really eat gases and we eat air, because when we eat food, we have a lot of excrement. And they say, oh, a lot of that is the bacteria and the fibers, but it'd be a lot. It'd be a lot of shit in the toilet. And it'd be like, damn, did I absorb anything? You know what I'm saying? You got to ask yourself. So the heart runs and beats based on the sympathetic nervous system. So when you're dealing with a heart attack and infarction or anything where your heart stops and you die, that's not based on a blockage or blood not getting there. That's based on the problem, a situation of your autonomic nervous system making it beat. So if the autonomic nervous system of the heart is based on the sympathetic nervous system, and sympathetic nervous system is based on fight or flight, and fight or flight is affected by fear, then that means fear campaigns in a world full of fear is going to affect your sympathetic nervous system, going to affect your heart. And that's what we're dealing with. Every 5 seconds, somebody's trying to scare you. Somebody's trying to pump fear in you. They're stressed every day, trying to make ends meet, trying to keep your relationship together, trying to raise your children, trying to protect your family. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, you know, you can't even go to a funeral to see the family member, a friend that you've known your whole life. Because the family said, you know, you got to be vaccinated in order to come there. You got to wear a mask, and you ain't doing that. So you can't even pay your respects. Horrible. What does that do to you mentally? What type of stress do you deal with for the rest of your life based on that traumatic situation? How much trauma was created over the past 3 years? It's unimaginable. It's untenable. You know what I'm saying? We all lost people. I lost a gang in 2020. About 5. I think I went to like 4 funerals. I think I lost about 5, 6 people. You know what I'm saying? Close to me, man. Horrible, man. You know what I mean? So your heart, people don't know this, is a brain. First brain is your gut. This is another brain, but the main brain actually is your heart, because your heart has neurons in it. Neurons are supposed to only be found in the brain. There are neurons in your gut. There's neurons in your heart. 40,000. It's a little brain up in there. And there's more of these nerve cells than they are the muscle cells in your heart. So your heart is really a nerve center. It has its own central nervous system. And it feels and operates with things way quicker than your head and your gut. This is why in Kemet they walk their left foot forward. You're supposed to lead with your heart. You're supposed to operate with love. Love is the highest frequency, and love is centered with the heart. You see? Right here. All right. Heart, my hand. Here we go. All right. So your heart is a dam that stops the blood and slows the blood down, because it's moving at extreme speed, so that it can It can slow down as it goes through its interchange into the lungs, and the lungs saturated with oxygen and the vital force of life, turning water into wine, right? And the aortic arch right here, the reason why you know that it's a dam situation is because, you know, if you're thinking about a hose and you turn on the water on a hose at high pressure, the hose is going to go from being bent to being erect, because the pressure of the water is shooting out, right? Well, when you look at the aorta doesn't straighten out. It actually bends in more, which means there's kind of a vacuum situation going on there. And that only is going to happen if you're dealing with a dam effect and a vortex effect inside of the heart. Okay. So the heart is a brain, and people are having heart attacks because their sympathetic nervous system is being stretched beyond recognition. Uh-oh. Okay, I got stuck for a second. It's getting stretched. This is why 19, 20-year-olds falling on their face on the football field. You know, and then we had the situation with the Bengals, and what was it, the Bengals and the Bills with Damlin. What's the brother's name again? You know, where his heart stopped on the field. And some people say that he actually died, and they like trying to fake the death, having a stand-in. It's wild. It's wild, man. But this is what we're dealing with right now, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, we have to really understand the body, you know. And the reason why we're dealing with high blood pressure is it's a compensatory mechanism for low flow of force. Narrowing of the vessels creates more pressure. So you take blood pressure and it widens the vessels, and that doesn't help us. That's why they say if you take blood pressure medicine, you got to take it for the rest of your life, because you're fighting your body. Your body is narrowing to help you out. And once you get your charge back, once you greet in the sun and you're grounded and eating the right foods and doing your breathing exercises, you know what I'm saying, you're getting that sun, it won't have to narrow, because the blood flow is just going to flow like it's supposed to. You see? But if you're not doing that and you just have a real like flaccid flow going on in your blood, and this is another reason why men are not getting erect, is because of that flow. Go and get in the garden, go ground, do things like that. You will be pointing to the noon sun again, but you'll be absolute. I'm trying to tell you. That's all you need. That's your Viagra. That's your nitric oxide. You'll get it naturally. You know? But yeah, man, like I said, we got CL5 up in the building now. That is the latest package of psionicbotanicals.com. I got this here to help y'all with that situation. You can read the description on the site. It gives you more insight of each one of these elements and what they do. Yeah, man, I hope y'all was able to learn something tonight. I hope I was able to give y'all what y'all needed. I'll be back, you know, for the Ascension Part 2. Mr. G don't know this, but he's about to be on here. I think Wednesday I'm about to bring him on, have him on as a guest. We're going to chop it up and have a good time. And what else? Herbal University, we're still pumping on there. Like I said, they were taking their tests. I think everybody's done by now, so I can grade all these tests, and I can put up the next 2 formulations that they're going to be working on. Let me see if there's anything else. Like I said, holla at trapwithoracle.com. Go to her website, support her, get something off the site. You know what I'm saying? Blue Magic, BontanaOil.com. And yeah, man. Oh, there you go, Mr. G back in. Okay, yeah, you know now. That's right, baby. You about to come on the channel, dog. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun though. But yeah, man, love and light, man. I just wanted to give y'all some real love. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all have yourselves a good Sunday night. Come back, watch this video, hit the like button, subscribe, share with some people who think they might need this, because I know y'all know somebody who got that ting. All right? Peace and love. I'm out.